Back to 1975, not only did I do the sax sketches at that period between 75 and 79, I also had cello madness and began going to free concerts at Juilliard and at Alice Tully Hall with Juilliard students in most cases, as you've seen so far, and always girls slash women for the romantic aspect of women cellists. I love the instrument in classical music and in jazz. The cello is my favorite string instrument, very close to a bass. The lower sounds, all that really appeals to me. So it wasn't just a visual quest. I also enjoy listening to it. Um, this is a one student that seemed impractical with her hair. It was like so big, and she every once in a while get her fingers in her hair entangled, and it would just be a charming event. Um, Here is someone who wasn't a Juilliard student, but a student of mine knew her. She's uh, a Hungarian cellist professional, and she was willing to come to class to pose in front of my drawing class. And of course, I had to draw too because I was enthralled with that whole women cellist situation. And so I did. So I got some more completed things done. Before long, there were other classes standing in the hallway and teachers listening to her just perform. I told her to play anything she wanted to. And I don't know if much learning or teaching was done that day, but it was very enjoyable, I got to say. My favorite life classes. Um, Here's the whole orchestra. The nice thing about the cello is it's located in a right-hand front part of the orchestra, so I knew where to sit in these free concerts. Um, and not in the front row, but maybe 3 rows back. Um, got to know a lot of these. I didn't get to know them, but they knew I was there. I mean, they would sometimes wave from the stage before the concert would begin, and they were the same age as my own students, so it wasn't a big stretch. Um, this was a recital drawing, and again, these were all done with black ballpoint pen on mostly 11 by 14-inch ledger paper, which was close to the worst paper you could have used. As you can see, it's yellowed and whatever. Um, and there's certain protocol sitting in an audience with chairs, like how much of the arms do you use. Um, but I was very careful not to interfere with their pleasure in the concert. That's why I used the ballpoint pen and had a discreet kind of binder holding it, looked like a classical. Someone actually asked if I was the composer at one point during the intermission time, because it looked like I had a serious uh, thing to write into and stuff. And that was good because I wanted people not to be aware of me drawing. And if I liked it, or if I saw them later, which rarely happened, I would show them the sketches and offer to give them, if they want me to mail it to them, a photostat. I wasn't going to give my originals away. Uh, Yeah, the audience was very casual, especially at the Juilliard ones, and most of these are, in a sense that what you expect to see at a classical concert. I did go to a Carnegie Hall, a few Carnegie Hall things and stuff, and they seemed a little bit more, well, they're older for one thing, and um, one time I remember there's somebody just came in off the street and was reading a newspaper, sitting in the second row right in front of me. Uh, I found that a little offensive, but otherwise, they were very good audiences to my experience. And I don't have a lot of experience with classical music live, so that was a nice intro into it. I like to get these were not duets; they're all part of a full orchestra. These are not the recitals either, but there are a few still left in the group here that are recitals. I think this might have been one. Um, a lot of reoccurring people because they would just happen to be there that night. It wasn't like I had a clue in the Juilliard grouping that they would be the same first cellist. The first cellist is usually on the outside as well. I think. I mean, I'm not, as I say, this is a real new experience for me, which made it more fun because I was a little nervous and it got my adrenaline going. So I really had to perform. At one recital or meeting, they actually, I was at not a meeting, but a recital that was also part of a Brahms Society meeting. I met someone I'd already drawn at a Donnell Library recital or Theodore Roosevelt Birthplace recital. And it was this woman here, and I showed her. I didn't see her after her recital, but I showed her what I had. And she invited me to her next solo concert. So that was very nice. I got to know someone. Went to a party afterwards with all these cellists who were, you know, very cordial. And in fact, she liked the drawing I did of her so much she wanted to use it for her Christmas card. So again, I didn't give the actual drawing away. I gave the photostat away. I'm glad I didn't because I like them to look at them now. All of the originals. Here she is with someone else performing. This is a viola da gamba, which is kind of predecessor to the cello. It's a little bit smaller, and as you see, they hold a bow underarm, kind of a interesting movement, but it has quite a close sound to the cello. It's a little bit more lyrical. And I learned that the cellists have a special relationship to that single spot on the floor where the peg goes into. And the nice thing about the cello, it's not a big moving instrument like the violin might be, meaning that the player might be moving a lot. So you draw the cello and it stays pretty much the same place. And then you, at the very end, draw the hands and the bow. Meanwhile, they're sitting pretty much the way they were when they started. Again, if I have two women cellists together, I include the both of them. This is a reoccurring cellist too. So there she is again. May have been the same night. Yeah, these are at least as much fun as the sax sketches because everything was so different. Different instrument and different environment, and I'm really happy I did them. I don't know what I would do today if I had to go out there. First of all, they don't have the free concerts anymore, which is a sad thing.